More politely, I suppose we could say that was not a good day administratively for cricket. What's your immediate response?
Yeah, cricket's a funny sport, isn't it?
It is when you play it.
Obviously frustrated. There was no chance of us getting out today, I don't think. Obviously the weather's cost us. Yeah, we're just gutted we didn't have the chance to obviously fight for a place in that final. There's not a lot we can do. We obviously lost that first game against South Africa, which ultimately cost us. But our aim was to make the semi-finals and then hopefully play our best cricket towards then. And obviously we've had that chance taken away from us.
Not having a reserve day, that's in the playing conditions, but the ECB signed off on those, every other competing board signed off on those. Do you need to have some conversations with people when you get home about why they can't look at the detail in the playing conditions for obvious mistakes like that?
Oh, look, it was the rules obviously everyone signed up to. You'd hope now that obviously there's been this situation and the game tonight is potentially going to be rained off as well. You'd hope now that there's going to be a rule change and moving forward, no other team will have to obviously experience going out of a World Cup on a rain or purely because of rain. So yeah, hopefully it changes. But obviously for us, we're just frustrated that it's come to this.
And you'd be quite emotional in your team, Rome. You've put a couple of years into building up towards this event, and then to not actually be able to contest it. Yeah,
obviously it's gutting. You put in a lot of hard work. You want to have the chance to showcase your skills and show that you can perform on the biggest stage. And obviously in knockout games in World Cups, there's no bigger stage than that. So yeah, obviously we're gutted. There's not a lot we can do about it. Unfortunately, it is what it is. We're just going to have to sort of rue that first game and try and move on. But it's going to be a bitter pill to swallow, I think, for a few of us for a while.
Heather, I understand that part of it is a short turnaround between the Thursday and Sunday, apparently. As a player, I take it you wouldn't have any issue playing a semi-final on a Friday and a final on Sunday, even if you have to travel between?
No, we did it in the last World Cup. If it meant we were going to play it, of course, we wouldn't have an issue with it, but those are the rules, unfortunately, and there was no sort of room for wiggle. So there's not a lot we can do. We can talk about it, but it doesn't change our situation.
How much did emotions change at all during that, or was it just sort of you got to the ground and it was just resigned to the fact that it probably wasn't going to happen today?
It looked pretty unlikely from last night, to be fair, that obviously we weren't going to get a game of cricket. I think it'd be nice not to have the jokes about English weather now. I think 2017 was the least cancelled games of any tournament around the world, so that's a one positive to take from the day.
You said that the semis were your sort of first aim of this tournament. Just stepping away from what's happened today, do you think the tournament has put you in a good position now to build after what was a very disappointing home summer? Yeah,
definitely. The signs have been really good. Obviously, we had that really close game against South Africa, which we fought back really well to take it to that last over. Unfortunately, couldn't get over the line. But yeah, I think the signs are really good. We've obviously brought in some new players, which have done outstandingly. Sarah Glenn, for me, in particular, has been one that's been a real find for us. We always thought she'd be great in Australian conditions, and she's gone and proved us massively right in that respect, and really chuffed for her as well. And obviously we've got a couple of young spinners who are doing very well. So yeah, the signs are really good. Obviously this one will hurt for a little bit, but yeah, we'll have a little bit of a break, and we've obviously got a lot of big tournaments coming up in the next few years. So that's going to be something that's going to drive us to keep pushing forward and keep improving as a side.
Different format next year in New Zealand, but do you suspect this squad will form the core to take you through the next 12 months to the 50 over World Cup?
Yeah, it's not that far away now, is it? Less than 12 months. So yeah, I think we're really clear on sort of what our best side is at the moment, particularly in T20 cricket. Obviously ODI cricket's slightly different, but we feel like we've got a real group of players that can obviously go and defend that title that we won in 2017.
This tournament was billed as a real turning point for women's cricket and women's sport more broadly. Does today being such a farce take any gloss off that from your point of view?
Well, I guess it's sad for the tournament, isn't it? You've got 4 really good teams competing and hoping to play some really good cricket. Obviously, that is taken away from us, but I'm sure the final will be a great event, whoever's there. Obviously, we don't know the result of the second game, but it's not looking likely either. But I think it's going to be a great sort of day and game for the sport as a general, and yeah, I'll be there as a fan. Obviously gutted we won't be there as players, but I think it has been a brilliant tournament, so that's obviously made it even more of a shame that we obviously lost today.
This tournament has often been about legacy for women and girls in cricket. Am I right in saying you offered some equipment to some young spectators after the game? Can you talk us through that?
Yeah, the bat was pretty shot actually, so I'm not sure they'll be the best pleased with it. The handle's nearly hanging off. But I think the tournament's been outstanding. Obviously, the way it's been publicised, the amount of press it's got, the amount of young girls and boys that have sort of seen cricket for girls as an equal billing to the boys, which has been outstanding. So obviously today is disappointing, but it won't take too much shine off where the sport has gone, and you see if the money's putting into publicising it and putting it out there that people do want to come watch it.
Heather, you mentioned in the most unambiguous terms that none of your teammates would ever engage in running a non-striker out, backing up. Looking back at that South Africa game, do you think that dismissal or the non-dismissal cost you the World Cup?
No. Next question.
Sophie Eccleston. Do you see her as somebody who could take up the leadership reins in the next few years, the way she's evolved and her becoming the #1 ranked T20 bowler? Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think she's a very good character. Whether she'll be in a leadership role, I'm not too sure. I'm not sure if Sophie would want that herself. I think she is a brilliant young player, and she is brilliant because she has that freedom and she keeps it very simple. She's a real dominant character, actually. She can really sort of influence the group in a positive way. So, yeah, I see her as being a leader of those young girls, showing them the ropes in international cricket. And the good thing about Sophie is she never shies away from the big moments. That's what makes her the best bowler in the world in T20 cricket at the moment. And she's still got a lot of work to do. She's still got things she can get better at. And I'd like to see her getting up the order in a few years as well. So, yeah, she's still got a lot to work on in that respect. But, yeah, she's a leader in the group already, and hopefully that continues.
Heather, just putting today in context, there's obviously been disappointments across your international career. You've lost finals. Is this the most disappointing day of your England career?
No, I don't think so. Obviously, it's been taken out of our hands a little bit with the weather. There's not a huge amount you can do about it. So, yeah, there's been lots of disappointment, but we'll have to move on from this. It will be a bitter pill, like I said earlier, because we haven't been able to sort of have our own destiny in our hands. But yeah, it's happened and there's nothing we can do about it now.
Harmanpreet Kaur said after the game that India had kind of talked about the possibility of a semi-final washout and had therefore gone into the group stages thinking, right, we need to win every game. Was that something you talked about as an England team?
No, Harman must have got a crystal ball out, so I'll have to borrow that off her, I think, for the next tournament. No, you don't think about that. It's such a unique situation. So, yeah, no, we didn't discuss it. We just wanted to get to the semi-finals and win. We plan to try and win every game that we can.
The standout takeaways with regards to your working under Lisa Keightley through this tournament specifically?
Sorry, say that again?
The standout takeaways with regards to working under the new coach?
Yeah, well, Lisa's very relaxed in how she goes about things, and that's a style I've quite enjoyed working with. I feel like we've built a good relationship. Obviously, she hasn't been in the role for a long time, and obviously before a world event, you don't want to change too much. So I'm sure we'll sit down together once the dust is settled on this and try and plan the next path of the side, where we want to get better, where we want to go as a side. So yeah, that'll be exciting when we get back.
Catherine Brunt, do you see her featuring in England's ODI setup for the next World Cup?
I hope so, yeah. If her back holds up.
Cheers, guys. Thanks
Cool.
very much.
Thank you.
Great to see such a full room as well.